I'm Rick Buck, and I've been a dentist for 16 years. And in this video, we're going to go over all that we know from research on the correlation between TMJ, or the disorder of the jaw joint, and tinnitus, or ringing in the ears. First, let me show you how close the TMJ and ear canal are on this skull. And this is a real skull. So you can see how problems in one can easily affect the other because they are so close. To cover the correlation between the TMJ and tinnitus, I think it's best if we go over 8 things we know about the correlation and then put all those pieces together at the end. 1. When TMJ causes tinnitus. If you watch my 3-part series on TMJ, which you should watch, you know TMJ is not a specific term. It's a blanket term for all of those issues that could be causing you problems with the temporal mandibular joint. And it's probably all categorized as one because while they're separate issues, they do all produce similar symptoms, but they are definitely different. So this study took 614 people, and all of them were people with TMJ or TMD. 253 or 41% of those had tinnitus as well, or the ringing in their ears. Now, of those 253 that had TMJ and ear ringing, 94% had TMJ disorder associated with myofascial pain. And I will use that term a lot, so let me put it in simple terms. Myofascial pain just means the pain in the muscles. So the study shows that tinnitus associated with TMJ is due to something that has to do with the jaw muscles and not the other types of TMJ. 2. Myofascial pain. This next study reveals how closely related myofascial pain is to generalized body inflammation. Here, they take blood samples of people with myofascial pain, not just myofascial pain in the jaw, but myofascial pain. And they measure all the biomarkers you would expect for generalized inflammation in the body. They found that myofascial pain, or pain of the muscles, is highly correlated with inflammation. 3. Clenching and grinding. The following study shows that clenching and grinding are associated with myofascial pain. About 70% of people that clench their teeth also have myofascial pain. That is significant because another study shows that only about 5 to 12% of the general population have night clenching and grinding. Don't worry about memorizing all of these stats or anything like that. Again, I'll put them together in just a minute. So you should really pay attention because about 5% of the people in the world have a problem, and 70% of the people with that problem have a common symptom that is not near as common as in the rest of the world that doesn't have that problem. Now, before I go on to the rest of the points that I'm going to make, I want to go back to the skull. Let me introduce to you what may seem like the most insignificant part of your body. You see this small line here? This is called the petrotympanic fissure. Remember how the jaw joint and the ear canal are really close? The petrotympanic fissure connects the TMJ socket to the middle of the external auditory meatus or ear canal. So the petrotympanic fissure connects the jaw joint to the ear. The next 4 points will have to do with this seemingly insignificant space and come from pretty much just one study. And that fissure will tell us more about who will get tinnitus with TMJ associated with myofascial pain, since not everybody does get the tinnitus that has it. Quickly, before I get into the most interesting part, I developed the best toothbrush, floss, and other dental products that are in Amazon affiliate links in the description. And these dental products are more advanced and will give you a stunningly clean mouth. You should watch my videos about why they are the best posted at the end of this video so you brush and floss with superior results that avoid gum disease, cavities, and give you fresh breath. 4. Open or closed petrotympanic fissure. When the skull forms, it has a bunch of fissures that fuse together in time. Some of these fissures won't fuse or only partially fuse. The petrotympanic fissure, when open, leaves a path between the TMJ and ear canal. What this study shows is that the more open the fissure is, the more likely it is you will get tinnitus. 5. Petrotympanic fissure height. That same study also shows where the fissure lies in the TMJ socket also matters. The closer that fissure is to the mid-height of the socket, the more likely it is you will develop tinnitus associated with TMJ. So if it's lower or if it's higher, you are less likely to get tinnitus associated with the myofascial pain in TMJ. 6. Where the jawbone sits in the socket. For some people, how their teeth bite together forces their jaw to close in a stressful and unnatural position. In other words, there can be a discrepancy between how your jaw joint preferably positions when it closes and how it actually is positioned when you bite together. The discrepancy is due to the way our teeth come together. Now, that same study also shows the further back our jawbone sits in that socket, the more likely it is that you will have tinnitus. So if your jaw naturally wants to come further forward, but your teeth force it to go further back, you are more likely to have tinnitus. 7. Gender. The last thing that the study shows is that girls get tinnitus due to TMJ at a much higher rate than men. 8. Inflammation. Something you need to know, and this is important for most pain in the body, is the general knowledge that nerves start to act funny in the presence of inflammation. For example, toothaches are most commonly due to inflammation in the tooth. And so in your body, if you're starting to get pain, if your body's starting to do weird things like twitch or lose feeling or becoming numb, a lot of times that will be due to inflammation. So now let's put all these points together, but let me explain there are two schools of thought on what might be going on with all of these facts we have. I will tell you first the scenario I think is going on. In scenario 1, the person with tinnitus is doing something that causes increased inflammation in the body in general. That could be a medication, an incompatible diet, too many vitamins, or other things. This in turn causes the jaw to clench excessively. If the jaw is too far back when clenching, it will further increase the inflammation around the TMJ. Then, if the petrotympanic fissure is open and in an unfavorable position, this allows a lot of the inflammation to flow to the ear canal. Since nerves are easily triggered by inflammation, it lowers the threshold to excite those nerves in the ear, and it causes them to ring. And if you know anything about nerves, to excite them, there's always this threshold. And so what your body does with nerves is it sends minerals and chemicals around the nerve, and once those pass the threshold, it excites the nerve and propagates some sort of response. Well, if that threshold is lowered, then it's always going to be triggering. And so that is what's happening with the nerves in the ear. The threshold has been lowered and they're always firing. Now, the reason this more commonly happens with females is because they have an increased propensity to inflammatory effects. The question is then, what is causing inflammation and for you to clench more? Watch my video on clenching for more on that. There are a lot of things that can't be seen or not directly seen that could be causing your clenching. If you can't figure out what is causing the clenching, then you can try to find out if you can get the jaw to rest further forward and more favorably with a night guard. Hopefully one of those things will work for you. If not, the jaw muscles may have to be treated with Botox to help the jaw just rest more in general. And if that doesn't work, you might have to take a steroid to reduce all the inflammation. Usually one or a combination of these will do the trick. The other school of thought is closely related to the first. Some think that the excessive clenching in the backward position is putting an unusual amount of stress on the TMJ socket bone. And since the fissure isn't as firmly fused, if you excessively clench, this stress causes flexing and pressure on the bone and more inflammation in the ear canal. Then the inflammation once again causes ringing in the ear. It really doesn't matter for our purposes to this point because the remedies we have right now, you would use to treat either of those scenarios. Stopping the clenching, stopping the inflammation, getting the jaw to rest. Those are the things you need to focus on. Watch my videos on TMJ and clenching to more fully understand this topic, because once again, they are very difficult, and there are some things that you may, and I would say even likely, are doing that you don't even realize are triggering all this and causing it to happen. Watch all my daily tooth care videos I have posted now for the best technique, tips, and products for a stunningly clean mouth that avoids tooth decay and gum disease and gives you fresh breath and white teeth. My dental products are in Amazon affiliate links in the description below this video. If in Southern California, my dental office is in the description as well. Like and subscribe to my channel if you have teeth.